All right, so we got to bring in our guy, Tyvis. Get the show
Hi,
started.
my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
Thank you, Tyvis. I will get them. So, boys, been a little while since we've all been together again. What's new? Don't everyone talk at once.
Shawn, go ahead. You're the one that's coming off the hiatus. What's new, buddy?
Just spent some nice R&R down in SEC country, and it was nice. And now I'm back up here in the Big Ten part of the world, and about to get back to work. But it's a nice time off. I didn't pay attention to much, so I apologize in advance for my disinformation.
Yeah. Huge misinformation guy. Sometimes.
Yeah, baby.
Right. See what we're dealing
It's
with.
the opinion show, fuckers.
That's a great point. Thank you for reminding everyone. So we appreciate everybody joining us. Pull up a stool, pour a drink. Let's do this. Please subscribe. Appreciate everybody. Love the regulars being back in here. You guys hit me with your questions and comments as we get rolling here. I know that recruiting is a hot topic at all times, especially this month. And even for about the next 2 months, honestly, because a lot of guys are deciding in August now. So bourbon talk. Shawn, is bourbon in your life right now or something else?
It's actually not really.
Yeah.
On vacation, it wasn't. It was more craft beers and Bloody Marys and tequila, to be honest.
Did you do a brunch today?
I did not.
You didn't? Oh.
No.
When you say Bloody Mary, I think brunch.
That wasn't today.
Oh, I thought you meant. Okay.
No.
Gotcha. Hey, check out this. The Two Irish Brothers Show. Welcome in. We appreciate you. Irish fans are welcome here. Unless you try and hijack the chat, then you will be put in timeout, just like you were 6 years old. But we've had to apply this to a Michigan fan recently, so I'm just laying the groundwork.
Well, top of the morning to you.
That's right. Aaron, go brawl to you. So let's get into this recruiting shit. So much stuff. All right. Before we get to that, though, I want to kind of lay out the schedule of what's going on this month, because a lot of people are kind of in the lurch, not knowing what's happening. So the coaches are on vacation right now, probably for another week. They'll be back probably the last week of July for sure. Like everybody will be back full time. Big Ten Media Days will be July 26th and 27th, so just a couple weeks away. And then camp will probably start August 1st-ish, give or take. I would say probably more like the 2nd or 3rd for fall camp. But there is a big recruiting event. Most schools are doing this. The July 28th weekend. I believe that's the Friday. So through that weekend, there is a small window of time where you can have recruits on campus. We don't have any details yet from Ohio State, but everybody's doing one of these, like Michigan's doing the barbecue at the big house, stupid shit, Harbaugh will be walking around handing out weenies from his pocket. You have to reach into his pocket to get them. But shit like just, this one weekend is like your last ditch effort to get dudes. that you've offered and stuff. So be interesting to see how this affects the recruiting landscape, if at all, because we'll get into Aaron Scott, who's deciding on July 30th, which is that weekend. So with camp starting around August 1st or 2nd, that's going to mean that we're going to be getting a lot of camp intel on the team, a lot of reports, and hopefully they're still as lenient with the media as they were in the spring. So that'd be great. And we can get a breakdown of this quarterback competition and shit like that. So first, though, Jeff and Shawn, I really want to get your takes. Shawn, we were live on the air last Sunday when Justin Scott committed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a quick take on the 5-star out of Chicago?
That's huge. Yeah, that's my take. That's huge. I was a little worried about that. Yeah. Big. I was on vacation, and that was me
That's
and
a
my son
Michigan
talked
beat.
about that. Yeah. Chicago is big time Michigan beat.
No, his family were all in Michigan, even into the Ohio State visit that weekend until the last day when Larry Johnson laid out a plan for Justin Scott throughout his career. And then after football, when he laid out that plan for Justin and his family, it put Ohio State over the edge and really swayed that family.
It's huge. Absolutely huge. My son said that, and I wasn't even actually expecting that. And we were on vacation, and he said, Scott. I'm like, oh, damn, cool. The cornerback. He's like, no, Dad, he's like 305 pounds. So what? Yeah, I wasn't even expecting him. That was out of the blue to me a little bit huge.
Yeah, me and Jeff gave our reactions kind of in the moment last Sunday. But Jeff, anything you want to add on getting that 5-star? I mean, it really is one of those positions we have not, been very successful with, at least in the 5-star quality.
Right.
I mean, I can't name the last. Teron Vincent, I know, was a 5-star, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, he was a 5-star in some of the rankings, but high 4 in others. I think his name and his pedigree and being at IMG all kind of added to that, getting bumps. And when Ohio State showed a lot of interest, but yeah, the last time we had a 5-star brought in that produced like a 5-star, long time.
Been a while. Yeah,
been a while. But getting Justin Scott, like we kind of covered Joe last week. Larry Johnson still got the ace in the hole, being able to pull those interior guys. Huge get, because we need the middle. Like we said, we could potentially, if all goes well, lose both starters this year. So we need impact players for sure, filling those holes.
Yeah, that was I think probably the biggest surprise recruit commitment of this class. I'm not sure we're going to get another surprise out of left field, because recruiting is all like, you got the crystal balls and you got the fucking RPMs and fucking future casts and all this stupid shit on all these sites. And it's really just guys guessing. And then, like we saw with Marquise Lightfoot last Monday, had all these crystal balls to Ohio State, but then 30 minutes before his decision, you got people like Wiltfong changing their fucking crystal ball. It's like, whoa. So your crystal ball actually doesn't mean much, does it? And he tried to come out after that Marquise Lightfoot decision and clarify what he uses the crystal ball for. But so like nobody has the same purpose. He said he uses the crystal ball to show where the momentum is. So if the momentum is in the favor of the Buckeyes, he'll put in a crystal ball for the Buckeyes. So he's not using it as a prediction. Like, I think he goes to Ohio State. No, it's a like an ebb and flow kind of thing. And if you're constantly changing it, I could do that. Give me a fucking crystal ball and I'll start slamming that shit all over the place, because I'm on message boards too. I could fucking tell you, I'll put a crystal ball in for Jaden Jackson right now to Ohio State.
I think some of those guys like Will Fong and some of those guys from those national services that are, that have been in the game a long time, they have contacts, and what he hears from probably somebody in the family. He has somebody, right. And like we said, I was going to bring up Lightfoot as a out of the blue change in what everybody was thinking, but for the wrong way. He probably heard from somebody in the family, hey, Miami came in with a big offer. Bag offer, however you want to say it.
That's all it was, yeah.
So then he's like, oh shit. So he's probably just going off of what information he gathers. And, so yeah. I guess it's easy to do that if you have sources. You just, if your source changes their mind, then you just change yours.
But again, it makes your balls worthless, as his wife might say.
Whoa. We don't need that.
Hey, that's right. It's getting personal in here.
How dare you predict wrong?
24/7 doesn't pay me anything. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. On 3 rivals, they're all kind of meh in my book. So I do need to, before we get rolling, we got to touch on the chat here. I got to give a lot of guys some shout outs. We're getting so many comments in here. I can't read them all. Billy, love to see you. Temper, my guy, back in here. PC, love you dropping in for the Sunday night. Appreciate you. Good to see you. How was your vacation? Ben, Ben, he's talking about Zanesville tonight. Remember last week, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked the question, has anybody from Zanesville ever even played football?
Right. Do they have programs down there in Zanesville? Right.
So Ben is actually repping Zanesville. He says that Zanesville produced the very first Mr. Football in Ohio. Buster Howe. I'll tell you how, with a fucking right cross. No, can't say that. We also used to be Division I, now Division III. I've got your Amish country hanging low.
Let's go, Zanesville.
Zanesville.
I tell you what, Shawn, it was a great show last week. The chat was going crazy. We had a great time. No offense to Zanesville out there. Any people from Zanesville, we love. If you're Buckeyes, we love you. Just a little bit of teasing, that's all.
Right.
I mean, hell, we're from Tiffin. We don't have a leg to stand on.
That's a good point. What else we got going on here? Oh, we got Corey Flores. What's up, man? Welcome in. What else? We got the entire California crew here. So PC is a Cali guy. I believe Temper is as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. What else? Billy, I believe you're a Cali guy. Am I wrong?
Que pasa, hombres?
That's right. But anyways, what else we got? Oh, Tyrone is in here. We love Tyrone. What's up?
Of course he is.
Corey Flores bringing the heat. I love it. It's good to see you guys.
Still waiting to hear a name, Joe. Still waiting to hear a certain name.
I know.
Tyrone will
Where's
know
my guy?
exactly what I'm thinking before I even say it.
Steven will fucking decide on anything you want to ask him about. He'll give you a black and white decision.
Fucking
Tyrone
Mad
knows
Dog's
what
in the
time
house.
it is.
Mad Dog's
That's
in the
right.
house.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Stephen Cherry. Where's my guy? Where is he?
He'll pop in here. He's probably over there watching Late Kick with Josh Pate. Anyway, so Miles Lockhart, want to get your guys' quick opinion before we get rolling on the other recruits. The corner out of Arizona, going to be a slot corner. So you can see that the coaches are finally getting wise to recruiting a corner body for that slot corner / safety. They're calling it the nickel safety. It's a corner. You got to cover a fucking receiver. That's a corner, man. So, what do you think about Miles Lockhart, Jeff? 185 coming in, about 5'10".
Yeah, like the size coming in. I believe he was a running back as well.
Yeah.
And Chandler, we pulled some other kids from Chandler. They got some good football out there. I've heard that name quite a bit with recruits. Not sure if it's a suburb of Phoenix or whatever, but or where exactly it's at. But I've heard the name. Tough kid. Really like it. I like that nickel corner size. I haven't seen much film on him. But he seemed like he seems like he's happy to be a Buckeye and happy to get the process past him. So hopefully we can just keep him satisfied through his senior year here and get him to sign on the line that is dotted come February.
Yeah.
You can't have enough good corners.
Yeah.
Says
the corner.
It's the next piece of the puzzle, and the final one is Scott. This was obviously a huge lean towards us for a while. I think you talked about Joe. You knew this guy was coming.
Yeah.
So, this is 3 dudes. We need to close it out with the trifecta with Scott, and we're good. But yeah, this kid's gonna play at Ohio State. I promise.
Yeah.
Joe, am I correct?
Go ahead.
I was saying when he was on his visit with the 2 guys from Glenville, they all agreed that they were committing. Then he wanted to wait for his grandma's birthday to announce it.
Exactly.
But he said when he had talked to those 2, they had all decided on their visit that we're all in, we're good. And I heard him making comments. I did hear something about he likes Aaron Scott's the probability of Aaron coming, and he's going to work on him. As far as whatever push he needs to give him, which is also good to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't look at the chat while I'm trying to talk. I get distracted, but Billy, 2-0. Miles Lockhart 2-0 versus Dylan Raiola. You're welcome. Eat it, ravioli. So, huge get. Long-time Buckeye commit. I think he might have been a silent commit for like a year, seemingly, because he never visited anywhere else. I think he might have gone to Oregon once, but there were no questions. He always, in every interview, said Ohio State was his leader, never backed off that. So anyway, let's get into these targets and their announcement dates. So the focus is these upcoming targets like July and August. We want to talk about who they are, when they're committing, and what schools are they looking at. And these are Buckeye targets, okay? We can get in, if we have time tonight, we'll get into the outliers that maybe haven't visited yet or, have taken one visit to Ohio State and have an offer, but I don't want to get bogged down in that too much because there's a lot of wishing going on there. But I do have 2 possible flips. We're going to finish this list with 2 flips. 2 flip candidates I have. I'm going to throw them at you. I want to hear what you guys think, Jeff and Shawn, and then obviously the chat. I want to get your opinions on those when we get to the end. But let's start off right now. We just had one of our corners, Xavier Brown. Today he committed to Alabama. He was a 4-star, high 4-star out of Modern Day out in California, 9.665, number 7 corner overall, committed to Bama. But the Buckeyes were in on him hot and heavy in the spring, like back in April. He took 2 visits to Ohio State from Cali on his own dime. These were not official visits. He brought his mom on the second visit. and I had this guy locked up. You guys can go back and check my fucking shows, like the Daily Blitzes back then. This guy was in the class, almost like a Miles Lockhart, kind of guarantee. So, not sure what happened. I did read quotes from him that he compared USC and Ohio State to like being equals. He said Ohio State and USC were like the same school. I don't know in what regard, because that's a very blanket statement. Are you talking program? Are you talking, scholastics? Are you talking NIL? I mean, there's like so many moving parts there. So for that comment to come out in an interview kind of was an eyebrow raiser to me. But regardless, you guys have a quick take on a guy that we didn't get?
Not really. I mean, it could have just been the fact of Saban got to him, and Saban's a defensive back coach at heart. And it's Saban, man. Alabama was going to make a push. They weren't going to stay down, as low as they were in the rankings. We lose a guy to Alabama, and it's not our number one guy at that position. It's going to happen. He probably, who knows? It could have just been the offer was the NIL was too good of a deal. You never know what really with these kids, but we'll see where he's at in a year. As far as
this was a
playing
cornerback.
time.
This is a cornerback, right?
Yep.
Corner, yeah.
Yeah. So
Number 7 in the country.
Well, we've got the 2 cornerbacks now, and we're waiting on the one other.
Jesus.
And that's that. This kid wasn't going to go to Ohio State.
You think he wasn't a take?
No, at that point, no. I mean, not for him, not personally. He's like, oh, Ohio State's sewing up their class. I'm not part of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I don't have a strong take against Xavier Brown one way or the other. So let's keep it shuffling on here. 4-star D tackle Jaden Jackson. Let's talk about guys that are actually out there and we're interested in. Now he is a little lower rated, but if Larry Johnson is in on him, I'm going to go ahead and defer to Coach Jay. He's ranked number 43 at the D-line position. Now, NIL is a key factor in this fucking recruitment. I hate to say it. This is real shit. So that means his recruitment is kind of in an unknown,
What?
So
you're
like
43 D linemen, and you're demanding NIL.
Well, he's dealing with Ohio State and Texas. So I would say his ranking is probably not very accurate on 24/7 or any of the other services. So right now, Ohio State seems to have edged out Texas for his recruitment in the NIL area. And he has a strong relationship with Coach Johnson. So seems like the Buckeyes are in the lead here. He's also considering Miami and Florida. So got a decision date coming up this week in 4 days, July 13th. What do you guys got? I need some predictions out of you.
The only thing that worries me is Miami coming in late like they did with Lightfoot. But I do like our chances. I would expect him if that big bag, upfront money doesn't come in, I expect him to be with us. So you can put me down for the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll mark it down.
Mark it.
Shawn, same. All right. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. If the cash is king, right? I mean, that seems to be the motivating factor in a lot of these recruitments, unfortunately. It's kind of the world we've evolved into. All right. So let's move it on. We all three agree that Jaden Jackson is a Buckeye. In the chat, hit me. I will get to your comments. I promise. I just want to get through these recruits. We only got like a handful. 4-star linebacker Kingston Viliamuasa, first player offered by the Buckeyes in this class. He has a July 23rd date coming up, so about 2 weeks. He's considering Ohio State, USC, and Notre Dame. Jeff, what do you think? Buckeye or not? Will he be a Trojan wearer?
How much has Laurinaitis been able to work on him in when he's visited, because James isn't allowed to be out traveling, seeing in homes and stuff. I think Notre Dame was in the lead when James was recruiting him at Notre Dame. I'm gonna put my faith in threes that he can get him here.
Okay. I like it.
But that's a tough poll. It's a tough poll. USC is really trying to hammer down on some defensive talent. So I think Notre Dame is passed. I think it's a USC High State battle. If we get a verbal on the 23rd, I think it sticks. I wouldn't be surprised though if we saw it that pushed off a little bit more.
Okay. Interesting. He's visited USC 9 times, Ohio State 5, Notre Dame 3. Henry, what do you think?
9 times.
9?
I don't know. I agree with what Jeff's saying. I almost feel like there'll be a hometown whatever factor, and he'll stay out west. Do that USC thing.
You think so, huh? Come from Bosco, he's just gonna keep it simple. Was wearing the Buckeye gloves today at a football camp out in LA.
Oh, nice. Wow.
That's always a comforting sign to see your team instead of another team that they're wearing, but we know that's not always 100% done deal. But the kid's mom's really involved. Education's a real big factor. So I think that's why Notre Dame was leading to begin with. But I don't know. I think threes is really making that big of an impression on some of these kids.
So that linebacker room is going to get stocked over the next few recruiting cycles on the back of threes. They will be on his back, literally. He will be giving them piggyback rides. No. Anthony Williams in the chat. Are you a new guy? I don't recognize you, Anthony, but good to see you. We appreciate you. We're going to get to Dylan Stewart and Edric Houston in a sec. But, I think we're good on Viliamuasa. We have two yeses and 1 no, I believe.
Sounds like it. Yep.
Shawn was out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to
Hope I'm
Aaron
wrong.
Scott. Corner from Ohio, Springfield, 4-star, number 5 corner in the class, considering Ohio State, Michigan, and long distant third, Oregon. July 30th is his decision date. Should be noted that is also his dad's birthday. If you're connecting dots, looking at stars and constellations connecting. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, Joe. We covered this. Yeah, he fucking better be like. 'Cause we covered this last week. You wouldn't set it for your dad's birthday and then fucking stonewall him right at the end with going to Michigan, unless his dad grounded him for some dumb shit and he's all just wants to get his dad mad or something. Yeah, I don't. Unless his dad is really not being a great father, I don't know. But you wouldn't set that date. He's had that date for a while now too. I don't see us losing him.
It'd be pretty fucked up if your dad is a big time Buckeye supporter, hates Michigan, didn't even go on the fucking official visit to Ann Arbor with you, sent your mom, and on his birthday you're gonna fucking commit elsewhere.
That's all I can get past. It just seems. It just seems like that it's gonna be
dirty.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine.
Shawn?
I couldn't imagine it going any other way.
What do you think, Shawn?
No, I think it's to me the biggest of any person that we still need to get. He's the guy. We need that rounds out this class. We go back to being DBU. We're loaded young, and you can see some first round draft picks come out of these guys.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask you. You think you got 2 first rounders in this class at corner?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
I do agree with Shawn that he is the biggest get for our sake, and to Michigan not take any momentum from us by getting him. He is the most important one still to get, because we have to avoid taking an L to Michigan in the recruiting for him, because that's going to be a big win for them, their staff, and they're going to pump it up. Whereas we got a heavy Buckeye lean and we pulled him out of Ohio. So besides the 5-star rush ends, yeah, Aaron Scott is the most important guy to add to this class that we're still trying to get. I agree.
And it's not only, and if he were to go to Michigan, he's a stud. That kid is a flat out stud.
Yeah. And that's what we need. I mean, we're really the defense, the scheme is looking for press corners, guys that can press, get physical up at the line of scrimmage. And Aaron Scott's, 6'1" or 6'1" in that ballpark. And Bryce West is definitely physical. Same with Miles Lockhart. He's going to be physical in the slot too. So, these guys are fitting the bill for what the defense needs going forward. I'm not sure we have that right now. But we can only deal with what we have. Let's talk. All right, let's talk Dylan Stewart. I mean, we got crystal balls in for the Buckeyes, 3 of them. 5-star, number 2 edge rusher in the class. This is a 2-team race. Bucks versus Cox. Buck the Cox. I don't know if NIL is playing a big part in this. I'm a little jaded from that fucking Marquise Lightfoot incident back on Monday, but
right.
Working with Larry Johnson, he's a DMV guy. It's going to be hard to turn down, but he has taken 7 visits to South Carolina, 4 to Ohio State, 3 to Miami and Georgia. I don't think Miami and Georgia are actually in the race much unless they come up with a lot of cash. So no decision date. I brought that up because, we're trying to stick with guys that are on the calendar, right now with a hard and fast date. So what do you guys think, Jeff? Dylan Stewart, you going to stick with the crystal balls?
I tell you
They're
what,
big balls. They're big crystal balls, Jeff.
On three's got him listed number 2 at his position, number 7 overall in the country, and it's us in South Carolina.
I know.
Fuck me if we can't beat out South Carolina, unless they're throwing like some serious coin, a house, car, all kinds of mail order bride, all kinds of stuff.
Where can I
for what to finish 3rd on their fucking side?
Unless or if this kid wants to, I could picture he just wants to play. He wants to be a starter from day one. And South Carolina, obviously, because of their lack of depth and talent in general, would say, sure, if you come here, we'll give you whatever you want. You want to, we'll put you right in at right defensive end or whatever. Because he's got to know too that he won't become. Ohio State's not going to promise him that. So what's the kid's motivation, or what's his why? If it just comes down to school versus school, program versus program, there's no contest. So I heavily feel that if it's us in South Carolina and nobody comes in late with a huge bag, it's the Buckeyes. He would be doing himself a disservice if he chose South Carolina for thinking it's a better opportunity than Ohio State.
but he has no date, and so you could see
Right.
late players that need to fill spots come in with bags.
Sure. Georgia's going to make a run. They're going to make a run. Even if he verbals to us, those two, I'm sure those other schools are
I'm
going to
with you.
keep fighting.
If it's Ohio State, South Carolina, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah. I've been
You
through
go
that
to Ohio
fucking
State.
town a few times. That's not a fucking
Yeah.
city. That's
But-
not Columbus.
Well, I mean, regardless of that, but if it's just us two, but I got to imagine it gets late in the cycle and Clemson comes hard if he's from down that way, and fucking Georgia
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's a DMV
and
guy.
Tennessee.
That's what's fucked up is that he's getting attracted by, these Southern schools.
Penn State.
I don't think they're in it at all. No.
There's nobody else listed as far as we don't know where he's visited everywhere, but there's no other really schools mentioned or talked about on the main services.
Mhm.
So
Well, let's go. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean-
the Buckeyes' chances over the Cox.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, like I said, he's visited South Carolina 7 times, Ohio State 4 times, Canes,
But you
Georgia.
said the U. Yeah, so what's going on down there at the U? Like you got
Oh.
some like fucking Colombian drug money rolling into the fucking U. Some
Well,
NIL.
Ruiz, his company's not looking so good this quarter. Last couple quarters have kind of gone in the tank, so maybe he's cutting a little back on the givings and the dinners and all that shit. So we'll see. I got Dylan Stewart in the fucking class. I'm going in. Jeff, what do you got?
I got him in. As far as
Okay.
all the information that I know, I got him in.
Shawn? Hello?
No, I got him out.
Ooh,
Somebody else in the SEC comes late, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Cox.
think.
He's choosing Cox.
No,
he's
I'm not.
Shawn?
No, I'm not. I'm not. If it's between Ohio State and the Cox, I got Ohio State.
All right.
It'll
How
be
about
Ohio
Cox?
State. It'll be
How
Ohio.
about Ohio State versus the field.
I like Ohio State against the Cox. I don't like Ohio State against the field.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. We got to talk about safety KJ Bolden considering Bama, Auburn. That's a joke. Auburn, actually, I don't think you're considering that, but it sounds nice. Florida State, Ohio State, and Georgia. Decision date is August 5th. We've talked about this guy ad nauseum a million times, where he goes to school, who he goes to school with, all the stuff. Number 1 safety in the class. Jeff, what do you got? In the class, out of the class?
I got him out.
Oh,
I think he stays down south, probably in state.
okay.
Bama's going to come armored after him, but I think it's going to be a Georgia Bama fight to the end with them.
All right, Shawn, what do you got for Mr. Bolden?
I agree with Jeff on that. You can't go against it.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen. I mean, then
So you guys
what are his ties to Ohio State other than we're Ohio State and he's from fucking Buford, Georgia?
well, his first cousin is Perry Eliano, the safeties coach. That's all.
Well,
Game changer.
well, it helps. I don't know if it's a game changer, but that helps. Okay. All right. I got him with Ohio State.
Oh, I love it. I got Henry to flip.
I got it.
We're not flipping recruits. We're just flipping.
No,
co-hosts.
because if Eliano, then he fucking knows. And when you know, you know. And
Yeah.
so he knows.
All right. Love it. So we got, all right, let's talk Edric Houston, 5-star D lineman. He's going to be a D tackle, by the way. Not sure if we really, decided this for him or not.
Yeah, we
But
have not made that decision for him yet. But I was thinking he might be moving in.
He's damn close to 280 according to some scales. Deciding on August 22nd, that's his birthday, turns 18. He's really down to Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Bama, and USC. But from everything I'm hearing, it's really Ohio State and Bama. I don't think Georgia, Clemson, or USC are even in the mix. And I don't think this is an NIL situation either. So everything I'm hearing is Bama is the biggest threat to the Buckeyes. Those Buford kids, you got to remember that they don't just toe the line of going to Georgia because they're in state. It's a big fucking program. Those kids go everywhere. So,
oh yeah,
Jeff, what do you think for Edric Houston, the D lineman?
I've seen it too often. If I had to lay money now, I would lay very little because I'm not confident that much. I think Bama ends up closing him.
Oh, wow.
I mean, him and Bolden go to the same school, right? Same.
Yeah.
I know Buford's got a few schools, but like their main senior high school. That's where Raiola is transferring also, correct?
Oh yeah. Fourth time, by the way.
Yeah, right. The fourth. I didn't know if he had changed his mind again since the last time we spoke, but
there's lots of high schools, so yeah, good.
I'm gonna hope I'm wrong. I think Bama ends up with him. Okay. I just bring back Caleb Downs, bring back, I don't know how many, guys you want to go back and think that we had sure things.
I got a pain in my ribs right now when you said that.
Henry,
what do you think?
Well, you just flip me? You just flipped me on KJ, right?
I flip you for real.
I flip you.
For real.
I flip you for real.
For real. You flipped me
In
on
English,
KJ
please.
Bolden at Buford, Georgia.
Give me a keys, you fucking cocksucker. Oh, nobody knows that.
Best scene.
Anyway, Edric Houston.
Sorry.
Is definitely he's going to be a Buckeye. He's going to be a game-wrecking Buckeye.
Yeah, I think he is the second D tackle, 5-star in this class that we need to turn shit around. I agree with you, Shawn. Good call.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, and him and Justin Scott can come in as two holes to plug in the middle of that D line.
Game-wrecking mother.
Yes.
I have I have total confidence that he will be that player. I don't know. I feel Bama's going to end up taking one of them.
Yeah. So we got a replacement here in the chat for Stephen Cherry. His name's Anthony Williams. He's coming in hot with hard predictions and not fucking around.
Okay.
Not sure I agree with everything he says.
Why would you?
Not sure where he's getting some of this information, but anyway, let me just run through the last few messages here. It's kind of taking over the chat, actually.
Let's hear it.
What's all this? I'm trying to back up, and I want to get Temper, PC, and Billy in here too. So Temper, Samoa, Billy. So we got a possible abduction in the chat being planned out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I might have to turn this over to authorities. So PC says that Temper and Billy and I should do a snatch and grab job on KVA, Kingston Viliamoasa, and ship them to Columbus. So it feels
like old school style, to show up with pantyhose in the head and the black van and
maybe
snatch them off the curb.
Yeah, Billy says that he'll take care of the postage, so that seems good. You guys are cracking me up. Then Anthony Williams is coming in. He says that Dylan Stewart is a silent commit. Okay. We're going to get to Brandon Baker and Gerby Lambert. I don't know who Gary Lambert is, but I know what you meant. He's got a board. He's got a whole board, he says, of Buckeye recruits. He says that Brandon Baker, Gerby Lambert are the most important besides Stewart, Houston, and Aaron Scott. 6 behind KJ Bolden on my board. So I would love to see that board, Anthony. What else we got here? Stewart, he's reiterating that Stewart is a silent commit. Okay, that sounds great. PC says that dude would kill all of us. Never mind. So no more snatch and grab job, huh? Okay, you guys are pussies.
Dylan Stewart is a silent commit.
That's what this guy says. I don't think he works on the Ohio State staff, but I appreciate Anthony's info.
I love a juicy fucking rumor.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? I mean, I'm gonna do some homework
if
on
it's
this.
Us and the Cox, of course.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
24/7 is 100% Ohio State leaning on Dylan Stewart.
Right, because there's three crystal balls. But what else? He has KJ Bolden in. He has Edric Houston in. He has KVA in. But he says he's not being a homer. Anthony says that Edric Houston is an Ohio State versus Clemson battle. All right. Well,
I'll tell you what, and all these guys are defensive guys. They would be the monster close to this class if we pull off all of those that he just mentioned, all those talents on defense.
Yeah,
that would rival that Okuda Chase Young class.
Yeah.
As far as big names closing them at the end.
Right.
And then give me another stud O tackle.
That's what we're going to get into right now. We're going to talk Gerby Lambert out of Night at the Roxbury, Mass. How do you like them apples? So I don't know about Gerby. I'm kind of on the fence with him. He doesn't really seem to be interested in big time football. He's taken official visits to Notre Dame, Boston College, Harvard, and Ohio State. There's one crystal ball came in early to Notre Dame. I'm not sure that's very accurate. He's very quiet. Is him and his family when they came to Ohio State for the visit, very serious. Not sure that big time college football is his interest. I don't know. Obviously, they're hard to get a good read on, but he is the number 2 tackle in the class.
I know. How do you stay that high ranked if we can't be the first people that figured out that, hey, maybe this guy would really give a shit about football?
This is just my opinion. This is how I'm reading things. If a guy, takes a visit to Harvard and Boston College, he's from Massachusetts, maybe, grades or classes or degrees are more important, not playing high-end football. That's just how I'm reading it. But what do you guys think? You got an in or out on the Gerbster?
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's hard to make any kind of educated guess because dude doesn't do a lot of interviews. Like I said, he's not doing a lot of camping and that kind of stuff. He could turn out to be, though, one of those offensive linemen that are super smart, but it could also be like a 12-year NFL veteran. And no, he might have he might have masters in whatever kind of, finance or some kind of great profession, but he could just be a mauler of an offensive lineman. It's like, well, I might not love it, but I'm so good at it. I'm just gonna keep doing it to set up my next stage in life. You're right, Joe. We talked about him a little bit the other week. What we don't know anything about him. We don't know what his
Here's
how
the
serious
thing.
he is or how much he wants it.
To be number two, you're going to camps and you're trying to be ranked. You're not just, oh, I was good my whatever year, my junior year. You're going to camps. If you're ranked that high, you're going to shit to try and show who you are.
I would think if he's ranked that high, there's been enough coaches that have given enough feedback to these recruiting people that the recruiting guys are knowing. Yeah, all these schools, we may not think he really loves football, but all of these schools are still wanting him. So he's got to be that as good as they say he is. I like our chances if you're looking at the overall, if he wants to, does he want to be a pro? Does he want to be, an elite football player? I don't know. I say we get him. I say we get him because we need him, and Justin Fry is going to work hard on him. And none of those other schools really have a leg to stand on as far as football program wise, compared to
Notre
us.
Dame, yeah.
Well,
But Notre Dame can't really compare in all aspects. If you're talking NIL, which may not be an issue for him, he may not even care. But you're talking, life after football, which he probably is interested in, and academics are probably the strongest point. So I'm on the fence. I can't really give you a fucking answer. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Gerby is not in the class. But let's move on to Brandon Baker from Modern Day, another Modern Day guy. I love seeing the Buckeyes in Modern Day getting dudes at least on campus for visits. This is a stride, a step in the right direction, which Modern Day has been typically just a USC, owned factory. So if we're cracking that wall to some degree, I'll take it. But Brandon Baker, 6'5", 285, the 5-star number one tackle in the country. He's taken 9 visits to USC, 6 to Oregon, 3 to Georgia, 2 each to Texas, Ohio State, and Nebraska. No crystal balls. He does have a few of those stupid RPM things from On3 to Oregon. No decision date. I'm going to count him out of this class. I think he wants to stay on the West Coast. That's pretty apparent. What do you guys think, Jeff?
Hey, is Jeff there?
Jeff. Go ahead, Shawn.
I don't know. I was just looking at him on 247, and I don't even see USC like on his they usually show the top 5 there. Maybe it would be if I clicked another thing, but it's like Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Miami, and Oregon. This Miami money seems to be coming in hard as of late, but man, love to get this kid. Let's get a Mater D, Mater Day, Mater D. What is it called? I don't know.
Where's my table, bitch?
But yeah, I'm glad we're in the conversation, and if we don't get this kid, hopefully, we get other chances at some other kids out there. They put out a lot of dudes.
Right. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, sorry about that earlier, guys. I think I'm gonna agree that he's either gonna go to a powerhouse down south, Georgia, or stay home at USC. Yeah, we need it. It would be huge to pull, a top 3, or top tackle in the country. I don't see us making it. Just too many other good options closer. He's going to get the NIL money. Staying out in California. Oregon's been in on a lot of these people. Oregon's got a lot to offer too. I think we're going to end up being, finishing second or third probably in that recruitment.
Well, Anthony here in the chat would like to, I think, call bullshit on all of our comments. I would like to know how large Anthony's Ohio State class is going to be. Is this like 35 dudes? Because it seems like everybody is in. I haven't seen you say nobody's in. It's fucking funny. He says we're completely wrong about the Brandon Baker recruitment. He has him in,
Yeah.
but in pencil. He clarified that.
Let's
funny,
go.
but
I'll
I
take it.
appreciate the positivity, Anthony. You are always welcome to give me your opinions here. I appreciate it, and everybody else as well. Now, receiver. We got to talk some receiver here. I saved the sexiest for last. Jeremiah McClellan's been flirting with Oregon here lately. Might not be a Buckeye lock that we thought he was a few months ago. He is the receiver out of St. Louis. He went to the same school as Cam Babb and Cam Brown. Was it Christian Brothers Academy or something like that?
Yeah, sounds
College,
right. Christian
Brothers College. So anyway, not a given that he's in the class. Anthony will probably come in the chat right now and tell me I'm wrong. He's a silent commit. I'm full of shit. So who knows? But appreciate the input. Anyway, on the outside chance that you're wrong, Anthony, maybe Jeremiah McClellan goes to Oregon. So we need backup plans. We need backup plans here. I know, Shawn. You guys are tight. So JoJo Trader, he's coming back into my focus right now. He's been out of my fucking radar for a long time because he hasn't made a second visit up to Columbus, or a third, I should say. He didn't come up. He hasn't been here since week 1 of last year. So September 3rd of 2022. He has not been on campus, hasn't taken an official, nothing. But to his credit, he has not taken any official visits anywhere. Although he's taken 5 unofficials to Miami, 3 to Florida State, 3 to Florida, 2 to Texas A&M, 2 to the Buckeyes back in 2022. So where do you want me to start here? 5-star. I mean, Jeremiah Smith's teammate. He is a slot receiver that the Buckeyes are looking for. We're looking right now. We already got Graham and Jeremiah in the class. So those guys are outside receivers. Mylan Graham's the speedy guy. But JoJo is the slot that we want. 6'1", 175. Number 3 athlete in the class. He's ranked as an athlete because he plays both sides of the ball. He's also, some would say, a lockdown corner on defense. But I assume he's going to stick with that wide receiver shit and probably make him a little bit more money. I don't know. Maybe he just enjoys the glamour, the diva. I mean, they're both diva positions, but regardless, he reminds me of a JSN kind of guy that has the ability to change gears, to shake defenders over the middle. He's not a big dude, but he plays bigger than his measurables and stuff. Tracks the football, has everything you want, has vision, the burst after the catch. So, and like I said, playing corner, he also in the 7-on-7 camps, he shuts down his side of the field. So I'm not sure corner is realistic at all, but I don't know. You guys have any takes on JoJo Trader?
It's been a while since we have had him in the discussion, Joe. But being Jeremiah Smith's teammate, man, I can't believe who's their quarterback throwing to those 2 guys in high school. Holy shit. I mean, I do like that size at 6'1", 175, get him at playing weight at 190, maybe. Could be a guy that maybe then it could, like a JSN, that could move inside and outside as the years progress. I think it
Or
goes
be
real
a
well.
stud safety or something.
Sure, I haven't seen any tape of him playing defense, but if he's a lockdown corner, where's more of our depth? It might be
I
like
don't
where
think it
can he get on the
matters.
field?
I don't think it
Where
matters. I think he's strictly a receiver.
I'd
don't
like to
think.
say I'd like to say we got a really good shot at him if Jeremiah is solid on being a Buckeye. I don't think if Jeremiah is kind of wavering and he's not getting a good feel from Jeremiah as far as are you 100% leaning there? I think the only way we get him is if Jeremiah is coming. Put it that way.
And I feel 100% on Jeremiah.
I feel better
unless
now
there's
than
a
I did a month ago.
Unless there's a coaching change, that's the only thing that changes my thoughts on the receiver position at all. You had Elijah Moore just committed to Florida State last week. So Hartline is going to crank up this relationship. He's had a good relationship with JoJo so far. So, but this is probably going to go through the fall into December. I don't expect, there's obviously no decision on the table right now, no date. And I think if you get him back on campus for a game day, get an official visit out of him, that's going to be key. Get an official on these kids, not just JoJo Trader, but anybody that you're going to work on through the fall. I mean, I know the coaches don't like doing fall visits because game days, they're focused on the fucking game, which, that's kind of what you get paid to do. And that's where your bread is buttered. But you're going to have to work on a couple of these kids through the fall season. And I think JoJo's going to be one of them. Of course, Anthony in the chat says he's in the class. If you guys care.
Let's go.
All right. So I mean,
Eric's in the chat. I like Eric. He's a good dude. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just had a question. Like, so we're at what 18 commits right now, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they were expecting this class to be like in the mid 20s, like 25, 26, 20, 27 at the most. I think
I'm going 28 to 30.
You think we might go ahead and take up to 30?
If there's enough quality out there, yeah. If there aren't, if we're not, digging in the discount bins at Burlington Go Factory,
Yeah, I think we got a good shot. If Jeremiah is solid, I think Trader does come.
You're going to have some guys pop here. That's how I wanted to finish up. Was there any other receivers? Oh, Keelan Adams from Virginia. He's one guy I wanted to talk about. And of course, another guy, because Anthony brought him up in the chat, says he's a Buckeye lock, even though
let's go.
Oh yeah. So
if we're doing the math, where does Anthony have our class right now? He has us.
I think it's at 35 31? 40. 40 maybe. So Keelan Adams from Virginia, 6'1", 175, fits that perfect body type for the slot. He's a 4-star, number 28 receiver. 5 visits to Va-Tech, 3 to Penn State. Took officials to Va-Tech and Bama. So you kind of see the relationship, the thread here. July 13th decision date. So coming up here in 4 days. I got Va-Tech as his leader. If I could talk to him personally, I'd ask why, but not a Buckeye option. Was early on, was into the Buckeyes, came over for visits, but don't think that's going to happen. The dude that Anthony's talking about in the chat, Micah Hudson, 6 foot 190, is a 5-star. Nationally, number 8 player in the country, number 2 receiver in the class. We don't hear shit about this guy because he is not going to leave the state of Texas. I'm telling you, Anthony, the dude has taken 1 official visit and 4 unofficials to Texas Tech, 6 unofficials to Texas A&M, 5 unofficials to Texas. I have a hard time saying this without puking on my microphone. Texas Tech is his fucking leader. I said it.
Guns up.
Red Raiders, baby.
West Texas. What could be more
We're
beautiful this time
sorry.
of year?
But maybe he says, yeah, I want to catch 100 balls a year. I want so many. I want targets. I want stats. I want to put up big numbers. If that's his mindset, Texas Tech is going to afford him that. That he's going to have the talent to be a day one starter and get 1 million balls thrown at him. Some kids just want that. They're not caring so much about, competing for championships and that kind of stuff. Because legitimately, you're not going to Texas Tech to build a championship team. You're going there because of stat accumulation.
The thing is, you're that high ranked,
I
then you've got to be drawing NIL interest.
I don't know what does Lubbock? What Texas Tech has out there in Lubbock? That's fucking.
That is West Texas, man.
Texas has got more money than you'd think, though.
You think?
Lots of money down there. They love that football.
Okay. Seems like the high schools have better stadiums than some of the colleges.
and you're talking about this, probably the fifth most important Texas school, or fifth, best as far as program wise. So the rest of them could overpass Texas Tech just as easy as we could. I agree with you, Joe. I think he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
He hasn't taken visits outside the state of fucking Texas or the country of Texas.
Unless his uncle coaches here. Yeah, no way.
I tell you what, Joe, I think you have a good host a good co-host for your daily blitz, or this Anthony Williams. We need to talk with him off air and see what kind of info he has. It seems pretty plugged in.
Right.
He might be a guy to chop it up with back and forth on these recruits.
He says we're sleeping on Brian Hartline. We're sleeping on Brian Hartline. We are.
Has he been listening to our show for a while? I mean,
no,
we got Anthony. We got major love for Hartline, and we have all the confidence in the world in him. But the writing's on the wall, like you said, Joe. He hasn't left the state of Texas yet, and we're past the prime time for recruits and visits and all that kind of stuff. Not to say it can't happen, but yeah, we got to get him.
But you can't take everybody. That's what I'm trying to say here. You can't fucking take everybody because they have a Buckeye offer.
Right.
If the kid hasn't left Texas yet, and it's almost mid-July, before his senior year, I won't say we have a shot at him until he comes up north to Columbus. I just don't see it.
Thank you, PC. Yeah, he did visit Ohio State, but I'm saying. Well,
I thought.
Hold up here. I'm gonna have to do some quick homework while we're talking because I don't have Hudson taking an official to Ohio State.
Even if he came up and camped with us, back in June,
No.
that would.
I got no official visit to Ohio State. I got one visit back in October. No official. That was an unofficial during the season. So anyway, We're not going to sit here getting a pissing match. Thank you, PC, for laying it out. He's not going to be a Buckeye. So I got two flips I want to lay on you guys before we get out of here. Try and shut this down soon. But two flip options. All right. I've gone back through all the rankings, the visits, everything I can think of. And especially the way things unfolded last Monday. I'm going Marquise Lightfoot is a possible flip. I'm not saying that he's going to go to the Canes and enter the portal after a year. I'm saying flip this year before signing day in December. Marquise Lightfoot, the D end, I got him as a flip possibility. This is not the only one. We got some more that are going to pop throughout the season. because as you know, guys will get offers. A few guys will get offers once the season starts. I mean, I'm talking about
I'm not
high school.
interested.
Sorry?
I'm not interested in Lightfoot anymore.
Okay. Hey, the Buckeyes, the staff might be in the same boat, Shawn. I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised because if, supposedly he committed silently to the Buckeye staff on the Sunday of his visit. And he said he was all in the entire time, right up until the morning of the day of his announcement, when Miami came in with a big bag. So
yeah,
maybe those feelings.
I'm cool on that.
Exactly. I think the Ohio State staff is probably right there with you if that's the way things went down and he kind of left them at the altar. The Buckeye staff does not play with that. Ryan Day he's a nice guy to the recruits, and puts on that bright, shiny face. But we've seen it before where guys try and come back, on their hands and knees, begging for the Buckeyes to take them back. And we've turned the cold shoulder on them. And I have no problem with it.
I agree, Joe. If the money, if it was the money that we all kind of think how that laid out, if that is the case,
yes,
I don't see Ryan Day going back to the everybody and saying, look, can we find more money for Lightfoot? I think that's made. I think him choosing that the money or whatever to go there out of the blue, I think that tells them, well, maybe we look at him in a year, after he gets paid and then realizes he's at fucking University of Miami and their program sucks. But I don't think they want him back. I don't think they're going to go chase him more if the money was the cause for him changing his mind. I don't think we're going back with a bigger offer.
Right. Do the Buckeyes take that call if it comes in? Coach Johnson, Coach Day, whoever. Do you take that call? I say probably not. If you're gonna kind of burn that bridge, is the way I see it. Seems like you burn that bridge. Buckeyes don't play that.
What Dylan Stewart and Edric Houston do, if we lose out on both of those two somehow, then we're probably more receptive to taking that call from Lightfoot if there is a call. Right. But if we get Stewart and Edric Houston, you lost out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if we miss out on two other big targets at that same position, I think maybe you're forced, not liking to, but maybe you're forced to maybe take the call from him, or try to put the effort into him. Right. But if we get the other two guys, I think they're going to be perfectly happy with the other two, and just those two going forward.
Yeah, 3 5-stars along the offensive line seems okay. In one class. I mean, defensive line, sorry.
Right.
Last flip option as of right now. Now, flip options are going to be there, but you can't bank on those, when you're coming down the end of the season, November, December. You can't be like, oh, yeah, we'll just flip a couple guys. It's cool. No problem. No, you can't bank on that. You can't plan on that, but I do have Nigel Smith. I'm putting him back on my radar from Melissa, Texas, 6'5", 260, 4-star, a 9.585 composite, nationally a number 80 recruit, number 11 at the DN position. So I'm gonna disregard the crystal balls and all the other bullshit, his visits to Oklahoma. I know they're probably leading right now, but I'm gonna keep him in my thoughts. If that doesn't sound weird.
It does.
It does, yeah. I was afraid of that. But he's taken 9 visits to Oklahoma, 7 to Texas A&M, 7 to the Buckeyes, 6 to Texas, 3 to Rutgers. What the fuck?
They must have got lost.
Yeah, he probably his flight got canceled and redirected or something.
How the hell did we end up in Piscataway?
Is this America? But anyway, so Nigel Smith is my other flip prospect at the DN position. Those two guys, Lightfoot, Smith. I mean, Nigel Smith has taken a ton of visits to Columbus, and all very close to each other. So I'm not going to rule him out. I can't.
Lightfoot did too. Lightfoot was at Ohio State all the time. So you think that plays a factor, and that factors into decisions, but man, we don't know. We don't really know what these kids are getting, who's coming at these kids with what kind of offers. Then NIL stuff, we don't even know what is really going on with some of these kids and how much of an important decision they have. Not just choosing the right school where they get playing time. It's all like, you have agents now. You have agents talking to you about, well, this offer here and this looks clean over here, and these guys are pretty solid on their offer here. And so I don't know. I think Edric Houston and Dylan Stewart, if we got a commit from both of them before the season started, I think Ohio State shuts down the defensive line and says, we got our guys. We made out like bandits, with the D line. We're done. We're not calling you guys again. Good luck in where you do. When you figure out in a year or so that you don't like where you're at, we might have a spot for you. But I think we have bigger fish that we're going after. If we get both of them, I think we shut it down. Larry Johnson kicks his feet up and starts getting ready for the season.
Yeah. Henry, any input there?
No, I agree.
All right, let's hit the chat here before we get out. I want to shut her down here in a minute, but I do want to acknowledge a few guys. Anthony says that he thinks that our class is going to be huge, basically.
Well,
and
obviously,
he says that it's no longer. Oh, he said about Lightfoot, he's no longer a take unless he has some type of heart-to-heart with Larry Johnson.
Agreed.
I agree. Yeah.
We're all on the same page there.
Yeah. Billy talked about the interview after Lightfoot committed. He wasn't impressed. Yeah. So no big loss. Eric, appreciate you, Eric. Yeah, he's pointing out that the SEC always has huge classes. Team Up North is trying to have a huge class because they have a lot leaving after this year. Say, we're in the same fucking boat this year. We're going to have a lot of dudes leaving after this year. Joey, good to see you. Are you a new guy? I haven't seen you before, I don't think. He says that Stewart and Houston scared off Lightfoot partially. So interesting point. Didn't think about that, but maybe.
If that's the case too, we don't want him. Then it's if he's worried about two guys potentially signing with us that are ranked above him, well, we don't want that dude. He's not ready to compete at the level of Ohio State wants, anyways.
Right.
So he might take an easy way out with money in his pocket. So move on.
I hope he's right. I hope he's right.
Right. PC says the other two would be better. Yeah, I agree. Recruiting limits. Billy asks about recruiting limits. Are those going to go back to the normal 25? That was supposed to be just last year and this year. I think it was to deal with the COVID extra years that everybody received, previous to 2021. So I think that's probably going to go back, but who knows? NCAA.
That's how I understood it too, Joe. That's how I understood it.
They're awesome at communicating and coming up with rules and shit. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Buckeyes are under the 25 limit just to be safe next year, as far as it pertains to us. Badass Buckeye is laughing. Appreciate you, Bab. Always good to see you. Joey says we want 3 edges in case Sawyer and JT both leave. I agree 100%. Regardless, I want 3 edges. We're kind of thin there, honestly.
Yeah.
Bilal. All right, we got another new guy. Jeez. We are getting some new dudes in here. I love it. You guys do realize we are well on our way to 3,000 subscribers before week 1. We're at over 2,100 right now. We've got less than 2 months. I think we're going to do it, Shawn.
Let's go.
Do you want to do it?
Not with you.
Oh,
Shawn, I had to make a commitment last week to guarantee it or die trying. So I do have some strategies as far as promoting some subscribers. But getting guys to listen that aren't Ohio State fans, getting them to listen to the show live, that's been a tough ask.
well, Jeff took the Harbaugh route, which is, very uncharacteristic. But, what else? PC says the class is going to be huge. Yeah, it is. Top 3, but not impossible to be number 1. I'll take top 3. I'm good with that. That's where
If we're getting
live.
all the guys you're talking about, everybody, then it should be number 1.
Yeah.
I just think we're not going to get a couple of those guys.
Right. Joey says, never caught you live before. Appreciate you, Joey, for tuning in live. Hopefully we lived up to your expectations. Charles Strait, are you the country singer?
That's George Strait.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it's his brother. Having agents involved in college football will screw it up in time. Agents are nothing more than attorneys, and we know how shady they are. Yes, thank you. Agreed.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. Thank you, PC, for the input. To get non-OSU fans, you guys need to work to do a collab with other channels. That would work. Okay. Noted. I will write that down. Thank you, PC. But I think we're good for tonight. Shawn, anything you wanted to add to the folks?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Any pearls?
Good to be back. No.
All right. Jeff?
Not much. I appreciate all the new listeners, the new guys getting in the chat. Need to send out an all points bulletin to find my boy Mad Dog Stephen Cherry. But hearing all the new guys in the chat, it's awesome. Let us know where you guys are all calling from. That Anthony Williams, where do you rest your head, man? What part of the country? You up here in Ohio, or are you down here in the SEC country like me and Joe, fighting the good fight? You got a lot of information, bud. We'd like to hear more from you.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate everything. Anthony was pretty awesome, but thank you everybody for being here tonight. I got nothing else. I am spent. I'm gonna go pass out. I might pass out right here.
Finish your drink first.
Yeah, good idea. All right, boys. Appreciate everybody. Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you. And we will talk to you next week.
Deuces.
Go Bucks.